In this video, we're going to be talking about how to save money for your home step by step this year. And I'm going to be sharing with you 5 key ways to be able to save money for your home. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Rinde from AskRinde, and welcome to the #1 community for real estate, income, and credit. So if you'd like to know how to save for a home, what steps to take, and what the 5 key strategies to use to be able to get the most house for the least amount of money, make sure you watch the video to the end and leave a comment below if you need help with anything. In my 19 years of real estate as an entrepreneur and realtor here in New Jersey, I've seen many people buy properties the wrong way. But the journey to proper home ownership starts before you buy. It actually starts during your saving season. So these 5 tips hopefully will help you position your family to be able to keep your property long term and also protect your family's future. Number 1, knowing when to buy property. Not every time is a good time to buy property. You've heard the saying, the best time to buy is now. And that's not true. They're missing a word. The best time to buy correctly is now. It's very important that you buy real estate correctly, because that can actually set you up to whether or not you're going to be able to keep that real estate long term, or it's going to be a short-lived project. It's going to be a short-lived ownership, and you end up losing the property to foreclosure or having circumstances that happen in life that causes you to lose the property. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you buy the property correctly, and that starts with timing and knowing when to buy. Factors such as the market that we're currently in, where we're at 16-year lows, inventory is very low, driving up demand sky high. People are paying much more than what the properties are worth and positioning themselves for failure in the future. So as a realtor, of course, I want to be encouraging people to be able to buy property, because that's how I make money in my business. However, as an honest businessman and entrepreneur who's been doing this for quite a long time, I make sure that I guide my clients. And right now, this is not the climate and environment for buyers. This is a seller's market. So you have to know the climate. You have to know the market. You have to know the timing of the market to be able to know when is the best time to purchase. And if you're positioning yourself to save for a home, that's a very key factor that you need to be aware of, because when you're going to purchase, you want to be able to strike when it's correct, because that's going to set you up to be able to buy a property not only correctly, but buy in a position where you're not overpaying for the property. So there are 3 indicators that we look at when we're actually starting to not only save for a home, but we pull the trigger and encourage our clients to be able to buy. Number 1 is the uniqueness of the property. How unique is the property? Because if the property is unique enough, they're going to be buying in already, not only with equity, but they're buying in into a value position. Meaning that no matter what indicators or what happens around, they're in a more sure bet that value, that asset is going to not only retain the equity, the value, the money that they put in, but it's also going to appreciate. Number 2, we look at price. We want to make sure that we're positioning our clients to be able to purchase correctly. And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're spot on with your purchase price. And ideally, if you're able to buy the property for less than what it's worth at the going rate as far as the appraisal or whatever the CMA and whatever is being presented to you, you want to make sure that you can buy the property for a slightly less than that if you can, so that you're going into the property purchasing it with equity. And number 3 is location. It's very important. You know, it's been said that it's about a location in real estate. Now, of course, we know better. We know that price trumps location. However, location is very important when you're actually in the real estate business, or when you're buying your first home or investment property. Location is key, because it's a key indicator of whether or not the property that you're buying is going to be able to give you equity appreciation and more value in the long run as you hold on to that property for years to come. So knowing when to buy makes all the difference, because you may have set a timeline and goals of when you would come up with your down payment to be able to purchase property. Now, coming with the down payment doesn't mean that after you have the down payment in hand, that's the time to buy the property. Number 2, save for rent to own. So when you're actually saving to buy a home, there are 2 types of people: those who qualify for a mortgage and those who don't qualify for a mortgage. Both want homes. So rent to own might be the ideal scenario for both. To qualify for a mortgage, you're going to need a list and a host criteria, including, depending on the lender, a minimum credit score of about 720, 2 years tax returns, bank statements, You're also going to need at least 3.5% down if you're going to FHA. If you're going to conventional, it could be anywhere between 5 to 20% down payment. You're also going to need about 3 to 4 months worth of reserves, money for appraisals, money for home inspections, money for tank sweeps. You're also going to need money for closing costs. So these are all things that are associated with those who need to qualify for a mortgage. If you don't qualify for a mortgage, then you have to look at other options, ideally and particularly renting. Where saving up for rent to own comes in, because for both parties, it's an extreme value. Because rent to own is always good in all markets, whether it's a buyer's market or whether it's a seller's market. So on the one hand, those who qualify for a mortgage actually need an option such as rent to own currently, because they're going up against multiple competition, multiple bidding situations, and losing out every time. So their mortgage person actually has them pre-approved, ready to go and purchase a property. However, they're spending 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and up to a year to try to find a place because they can never get an offer accepted. So the ideal thing for them to do, or option for them to do in those scenarios, would be to do a rent to own, because they have the best of both worlds. They're actually able to use portions of their down payment that they've saved up and use it and to move into a property that they're actually going to own in the future. And for those who can't qualify for a mortgage and are actually faced with only renting, well, rent to own presents a great opportunity, because they can actually move into that property, have the value and the joy of home ownership currently, while preparing themselves and using something such as our fast track rent to own program, where we prepare them for a mortgage, to qualify for a mortgage, to be able to purchase the property at a later date, perhaps maybe 2 to 3 years down the line. So saving for rent to own is one of the best strategies to use in any market. Number 3, grants. So the great news is that you're going to be buying a home. But the better news is that you don't have to come up with all the money to buy that home. And why? Because there are grants and down payment assistance available. So you want to use this time that you're using to be able to save money for your home, to be able to explore all options there are for grants and down payment assistance programs. There are a plethora of grants and down payment assistance programs. Everything from NACA to USDA down payment assistance programs, from federal initiatives, and also private grants for down payment assistance for homeowners. These grants are available, and you want to use this time and season that you're using to be able to save for your home to explore all options to be able to get down payment assistance. So if you'd like to know what grants and down payment assistance programs are available in your state, make sure you go to our website, AskRinde.com, click on grants, and go to our resource area. We update it with local, state, federal, and private grants that are available for homeowners all around the country. Number 4, start a business. So this is especially for my W-2, 1099 self-employed gig workers. It's important to start a small business as you save for your home, because it positions you to be able to take advantage of things such as grants and also free money. As we saw with the pandemic, there was a lot of funds given to small businesses that have been in existence. If you actually went for the PPP loan, you would have known that they actually wanted a business that was open as early as February 2019, etc. So all of these perks actually are there for small businesses. And it's important for you to actually start a small business when you're in the process, not only from a position of having yourself have another stream of income come in, but also because there are a lot of grants and also private grants that are available for small businesses. Number 5, budget and saving habits. So it goes without saying, your budget and saving goals are going to be largely dependent on the type of house that you're trying to buy. If it's a single family home, everything is going to be on you. All the responsibility and all the expenses to come up with getting the approval or getting the institutional loan or getting the monies together for that home will be on you. If it's a multifamily property, then the lender can probably use rental or projected rental income to be able to count towards your budget and savings that you'll need to be able to get the property. So it's important to note the difference. If you're buying a single family home, everything is on you. If you're buying a multifamily property, then depending on your lender, you may be able to use the revenues that are generated from the property or the projected revenues that will be generated from the property towards your budget and savings factor. With budgeting and saving as a good rule of thumb, you want to be able to save at least 30% of your gross income. Now, an important note is that you want to make sure that you claim all your income for the 24 months prior to you buying a house, because the lender is going to want to see 2 years tax returns in some cases, and they want to make sure that you actually have as much income reported as possible. So you want to make sure that your tax returns show as much income to be able to shore up your income and avoid you having to get extra financial help, such as gifts and also co-signers. So to help you with your budget and saving, I've also included our income and expense spreadsheet, which we have free in our resource area at AskRinde.com. I've also included a link where you can download for free right in the description box below. And finally, a bonus, number 6, knowing all your expenses with the property. So it's important, just like you're actually preparing and saving for a house, it's important for you to know all the expenses that are associated with the house. Not only when you buy the property or leading up to buying the property, but also what may come up after buying the property. And I can tell you, as being an entrepreneur and a real estate landlord and homeowner for many, many years, properties are like babies. They actually have to be well taken care of. And you also need to be able to factor in the unknowns, the things that can come up unexpected. Most importantly, you want to make sure that you're not buying a lemon or something that's going to cause you problems that you're going to have to do a lot of repairs to. So I'd like to share with you more about the pros and cons of buying and those details and how to buy correctly and how to buy the most strategic way. What's the most strategic way to be able to buy real estate where you're buying the best property for the least price? Well, I share that and more in our Fast Track Rent to Own program. As I've said, rent to own is one of the best ways to be able to buy real estate in any market. Regardless of the market, it's the most foolproof way to be able to buy real estate, and it's a win-win all around. So I'd like to share with you more and invite you to actually join our Rent to Own Masterclass. You can start today by simply going to our website, AskRinde.com, clicking on Rent to Own, and getting started today. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.